Salvete omnes, ego sum Magister Sullivan. All right, it's chapter 11 from Suburani. The chapter is Mare, and we're going to talk about the first story, walk through the translation. So, nos erat, urbs erat quieta, pauci homines per urbem ambulabant. Nos per vias urbis celeriter procedebamus. All right, so it was night. The night was quiet. Few people were walking, right? Remember ba? That's we're walking through the city. We were proceeding quickly through the streets of the city. So urbis right here, let's talk about this. This is, you noticed me here, you translate it as of the city. This is a genitive ending, right, for this noun, urbs, which is the city. So it shows usually possession. It can have a couple other uses, but possession is the most common. More on that later. Sabina, cur festinamus. She says, why are we hurrying? Right? Again, remember, mus is we, right? Remember the verb endings tell us what the subject is. Right, lucrio, pater tuus senatori magnum pecuniam debet. So debet here is our main verb. This has a lot of different meanings. It can mean to owe, and it can mean ought or should, but in this case, it's not going to mean should because there's no infinitive thing to go with it. So it's going to mean owe, and it's talking about money, so that makes sense. So your father owes a lot of money to the senator, right? And so we highlight senatori, right? This is a dative, right? So you can owe something to someone, all right? So Rufina, remember Rufina? She says, Faustus senatorem maxime timet, servus senatoris te quaeret. Faustus, remember, she is Sabina's dad. Faustus greatly fears the senator. The enslaved man, the servant, the slave, seeks or asks the servant of, right? I'm sorry, senatoris is of, this is our genitive again, right? So you could say the senator's servant, you can use a apostrophe s, or you can say the servant of the senator looks for, searches for you. Right, and so here we have a little map, geografica mapa. So here is urbs Roma, and then Tiberis Fluvius or Flumen, and then Portus Ostia, the port city of Ostia. Postquam lucrio me ad forem boarium duxit, flumen per tenebras vidi, tum scapam ascendibus. So afterwards, lucrio led, here's our main verb, and it's past tense, ex. Anytime you see an X, it's usually a good indication it's going to be past tense or perfect. Me to the form born. Right, this is the, if you remember, the marketplace for cattle. Right, and then we have weedy. So we have past tense, perfect tense, and then perfect tense again. I saw the river through the darkness. It's per tenebras, right? Prepositional phrase. Then ascendimus, we climb the skiff, the boat, tiny boat, right? Ascendimus can be past tense and present tense. It probably makes more sense for it to be past tense here. 3 horas per flumen navigabamus, tum ad portum venimus, portus Romae, nomine Ostia, iam erat clamosus. Multi operarii ibi laborabant. All right, so navigabamus, we were sailing for 3 hours through the river. Then we arrived at the port. The port at Rome or in Rome or Rome's port named Ostia now was noisy. Clamosus, noisy. Many workers were working there. Lucrio. Faustus amicum hic habet. Amicus Fausti est mercator. Nomen mercatoris est Marcus. Marcus magnam navem habet. Necesse est nobis navem Marcii invenire. Right, so here Faustus has a friend. That's good for Faustus. And here's a genitive. Faustus's friend is a businessman, a merchant. The businessman's name is Marcus. Marcus has a large ship. It is necessary for us to find, it's an infinitive, the ship of Marcus, or Marcus's ship. All right, so here we have one genitive, two genitive, and we have three genitives. Right? Notice how they're all translated as of the person or thing, and sometimes we can just do an apostrophe s. Votum in portu facere volebam, quod mare est periculosum, lucrio me ad aram duxit. Ubi deo Neptuno vinum dedi. So a prayer, I'm sorry, let's go back here because this is our verb. Let's start with there. So I was wanting to make a prayer in the port because the sea is dangerous. Lucrio guided, led me to the altar, arra est, where I gave wine to the god Neptune. All right, so when you have verbs of giving, showing, or telling, you need a dative, and that's what this ending is. These are datives. To the god Neptune. Okay? Amita mea deo suo votum fecit. My aunt made a prayer to her own god. Marcum prope navem invenimus, tum lucrio mihi pecuniam tradidit. Amita mihi fibulam dedit. Fibulam amitae meae triste tenui. So, here we have invenimus. Right, it would make sense to start with Marcum, but we check out Marcum and it's M, not S, so it can't be the subject, so it can't go first. So we have, we found Marcus next to the ship. Then Lucrio handed over to me money. So Lucrio, I guess it gave me money, or gave money to me. My aunt gave to me a brooch, or this item, fibula est. I held my aunt's brooch sadly. Triste. Tandem mihi vale dixerunt, vultus servi erat tristis, sed fortis erat vultus rufinae. At length, or at last, they said to me goodbye. So the servant's, or the slave's face was sad, again a genitive, but it was the brave face of Rufina. All right, so Valete Omnis, that was chapter 11, the first story, Mare. If you have any questions, feel free to come and see me. All right, again, to highlight, this chapter is the genitive. All right, it would be good to pause the video, or after the video, try to count up how many you can have. Right, again, they're translated as of the noun or noun with a apostrophe s. All right, until next time, Valete.